Beauty Professor, and you can find my beauty blog at www.beautyprofessor.net. Happy November to you. I'm excited to share with you my October favorites, and I carefully deliberated about which products I would include in this video because I didn't want to be repetitive and talk about products that I love that I've also discussed and shared in previous recent videos and blog posts. So I tried to exercise some restraint and just focus on things that I know haven't received a lot of coverage in my recent posts, but they are things that I absolutely adore, and most of them I was introduced to in the month of October, or I rediscovered in the month of October. So this is but a small sampling of the products that I've really enjoyed using in these early fall months, and I hope you enjoy the discussion. Quickly, I am wearing glasses right now because I'm fairly certain that I have a popped blood vessel on my eye and I need to either wear glasses or contacts to be able to see. So I'm giving my eyes a rest from the contacts while I wait for my eye to heal, and hopefully it starts making strides in the right direction. And I also hope that the glasses aren't creating too much of a glare with the lights, but it's the only way that I can see. With regards to skincare, I refrained from including products from SK2 and La Prairie that I've been adoring. I talked about them in my most recent video, and both lines mentioned in my most recent skincare FOTD, which I'll link to in the details box. But I did want to mention one product that I think is kind of at the impetus of skincare that I've been using all month, and that is the Miraness Pebble Sonic. This is a product from Australia, and it is kind of like a Clarisonic. I think I mentioned it in my last video just briefly because I had just been working with it. But it is amazing because you do not need to change out any kind of brush heads. It's soft silicone bristles. And I just use whatever cleanser I'm working with in the shower, whether it be soap or some form of gel or light exfoliant, and put it on my face and then use this to buff it into my skin and ultimately clean everything. I find that I get a really deep clean with this, and you wouldn't necessarily assume that by looking at these rather shallow bristles, but my skin is like squeaky clean and not the slightest bit irritated. I love that you can really get to the base here and fully wash this device. I just leave mine in the shower, and I've had the most amazing experience with this as a skin cleanser. For hair care, I have been using a host of shampoos and conditioners because I like to mix it up. I have probably 6 to 8 lines of shampoo and conditioner and masks represented in my shower at any given point in time. So sometimes when people ask me to talk about what hair care I love, I am hesitant to go into it because it just ends up being a long list. I wash my hair daily, and so with that comes a lot of experimenting. But one set of products that I've been loving for the month of October is the Orbe Gold Blast Repair and Restore Shampoo and Conditioner. Not only is the packaging stunning, but the contents that it houses is equally effective and amazing. So the shampoo has this really fresh, kind of soft scent. It reminds me a little bit of peaches, but that's not quite the scent. It's just what I immediately think of. And I use this to clean my hair. And then I love the conditioner, which I only condition from here down. I know some people like to condition at the roots, but for me, because I wash my hair so often, I just really like clean hair, then I find that if I condition from root to tip, that can weigh my heavy, thick hair down. So I usually go from here to here, and this conditioner is amazing for just overall hydration, health, smoothing, and it makes my hair much more detangled when it comes to brushing it out after bathing. So luxurious shampoo and conditioner, definitely a favorite for this month. When it comes to foundations, I've chosen to talk about 2, but I've really been using 3 this month. One is the Tom Ford Traceless Perfecting Foundation. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but I have to just say, this is my original bottle that I purchased in the summer in Natural. This is a testament to how much I love this particular foundation because I've used so much of it up. It comes looking like this. I picked up Bare Beige now to mix with Natural because my skin's getting lighter, and as a formula this just holds up so well in heat and in long work days, and so I'm still smitten with this. but I'm also using a couple of other foundations, which I'll be talking about. I just had to show this because it's rare for me to get this level of foundation that quickly. Now I'm excited to talk about two foundations that were new discoveries for me for the month of October that both became favorites. One is the Gucci Face Lustrous Glow Foundation, and I have this in shade 050 and 060, both of which are so similar that I can get away with wearing either, though 060 is just a touch darker and matches my skin a little better right now. At any rate, this is a beautiful medium coverage foundation with a satin matte finish, and the whole Gucci line, in terms of the carefully selected products I have purchased, has been really incredible. I've enjoyed everything from the lip color to the eyeshadow to the foundation, and it's become a part of my rotation. I find that I get a good 6 to 7 hours of wear. I do have comparison swatches for the shade family that I typically wear on my blog, and I'll link to that. But if you're curious about the Gucci foundation, I'll say if you're looking for medium satin matte coverage that has pretty significant lasting power, then I highly recommend it. If you're looking to get to full coverage, this probably won't get there in a way that isn't obvious, but it's beautiful in a single application and definitely a worthy foundation from this line. The other is the Dolce & Gabbana Lift Foundation. It's a perfect reveal lift foundation with sunscreen. I wear it in the shade Caramel. It's shade 110, and I have swatches, which I'll link to below, of all shades in this formula. And I'm really happy. This is probably my favorite Dolce & Gabbana foundation formula, and I've tried quite a few. I find that I have a nice smooth canvas when I've applied it. I usually use a dampened beauty blender, and it just holds up beautifully. It's a little more skin-like, while I'll say this is a little more classic foundation. Both are beautiful on the skin, but this has a very skin-like finish, and I think that's to its merit. In terms of the anti-aging benefits, it is infused with ingredients that are intended to tighten and lift the skin. And while I haven't used it in succession long enough to be able to talk to those long-term benefits, I will say that my skin does look good when I wear it. So I love it. It's definitely been in my top 3 this month, along with the Gucci and the Tom Ford. And I'm just totally smitten with this recent crop of foundations that have been released in the fall. On to a few more complexion related products that have been favorites for October. One is the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, which is an illuminator, and I've been using it interchangeably with the Coke & Dough Aqua Foundation Illuminator. I like them both in different ways. The Coke & Dough is a little more beige, and I find that this has less pigmentation overall. It's just this gossamer veil of gorgeous light. It's very thin, and it blends into the skin. I like mixing it with a foundation, one of the foundations I've already discussed, for a little extra oomph that gives radiance to the face. And so that way you can still get a great kind of satin matte finish, but if you want to heighten the radiance properties, you know, a dollop of this in my mix is all I'll need. And I find that it doesn't in any way irritate my sensitive skin, and it definitely lives up to its cult hype. It's a beautiful product, and the packaging just can't be beat. A concealer that I know I mentioned briefly in one video. You know, I've been using a lot of different concealers. My two favorites are the Surratt Surreal Skin. I use that for any of my concealing needs, but the most recent release concealer for the month of October that I've been loving is the By Terry Terribly Dense Lease Concealer. And it has skincare benefits, anti-wrinkle, dark circle, eye serum. It brightens the eye area, and that's really the only place I use this. I have this in shade 4, medium peach, and I just dot it along the under eye region and then blend with a brush. It truly does smooth things out. It conceals dark circles, and it brightens the eye area without any obvious use of shimmer. So it's just a gorgeous product to be expected from the By Terry line. And I have swatches of all the shades in this formula on my blog. I will link to it. Another illuminator that I've been using a lot of in the past month is the gorgeous Prism Powder in Summer. I think I mentioned this in my last video. It's got a gradient kind of gold set of powders from the lightest, palest gold all the way to a very deep kind of golden bronze, which you can actually use as a bronzer should you need to. But I typically stay on the lighter side of this palette and put it across my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose for highlighting if I feel like I need a little extra after my foundation. And I just find this really beautiful because it's pretty pigmented. A little goes a long way. You don't want to overdo it. But the shimmer as you build it up is not glittery at all. It's just very glowy and beautiful, and yet your skin essentially is matte. So that's kind of the bonus of a highlighting powder versus a highlighting liquid. And this is one of my favorite products from the Gorgeous Cosmetics line. For a face powder from this, I've been using the NARS All Day Luminous Powder Foundation. I wear it in light number 5, which is the shade Fiji, and I'm typically Fiji for a lot of the year in NARS. So it's a compact powder. It has a separate storage case for the sponge, which is great, and you can use one side of the sponge for more dense coverage than the other side. One is flocked and one is spongy. I like using this as a touch-up powder and also to set makeup throughout the day. And I haven't really used it as a foundation yet, though I've read good things about that. I haven't had time to experiment, but I definitely have had some good use with this over the month, and I like this powder. In fact, I think I like it better than the original NARS foundation powder, which I also have. I just feel like this is a little less obvious on the skin. It really blends nicely, and almost as it sets into the skin, it looks more like a light liquid foundation than anything. So I think it melts fantastically with the skin. And then finally, for the face, I wanted to talk about this stunning Clé de Peau Beauty Coffret. It's their holiday palette, and it was just released. I've had this last month to play with it, and I will be featuring a whole look with it in the next couple of weeks. But oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. 3 neutral shadows in varying depths, from this light champagne to this darker purpley brown. A peachy blush, a pink blush, 2 different applicators, and a brush. It also comes with a mascara and a lipstick, and the whole set is just amazing. It's a super opulent gift for someone, and it also has this gorgeous design on the top. Very classic. I hope the light is picking it up. And like I said, I'll do an in-depth on this on my blog soon, but I had to mention this because I've had such fun playing with it over the month of October. Just the most sumptuous gift. I am trying to move quickly because I'm losing light, and thanks to daylight savings, the hours at home that I have that are actually light once I get home from work have vastly diminished. So I'm going to move through the lips and the eyes quickly here. Before I get to those, I want to mention a nail polish. This is from the line Spa Ritual, and this is in the shade Arroyo. It's called a sandy matte shimmer, and when I was traveling last month, I ended up getting my first pedicure of the year. I'm super low maintenance when it comes to that. I usually just do my own, but I had some time and I went for a pedicure. And that who was my pedicurist at the hotel. She was so sweet and did the most amazing job, but she kind of talked me into using this color instead of the really pale nude that I was gravitating towards, which I always pick. This is a soft neutral purple, but it's not shiny and it's not too deep, and it's just beautiful. I picked up a bottle for myself and for my mom, and I think I might have taken the last 2 from the spa, but I will try to link to it in the details box. It is a soft, almost matte polish with a little bit of underlying shimmer, and it just makes the nails look amazing. Since I've been wearing it on my toes, I've had probably 5 or 6 people ask me what this shade is, so that's just a testament to its uniqueness and also to its performance. For eyes, I'm just talking about 3 eyeshadows, but I've certainly worn more than 3 in the last month. I've worn palettes from Clé de Peau, and I've worn kaleidoscopes from Le Métier de Beauté, but the new shadows for this last month for me are the ones I've chosen to focus on. And here are 3 of my favorites. One is the Gucci Oxidus. This is the mono shade. It's a brown bronze and just an easy all over wash of color. I've used it a lot, as you can see here. I hope that the light's picking that up. And I am so happy I went with this color first because it's just so versatile and easy to wear. Next is the Le Métier de Beauté True Color eyeshadow in Alexandrite, which is kind of a purple with some reddish burgundy aubergine undertones. It is so pigmented, very silky satiny, and does not crease. I wear it as a single wash of color and then blend out with maybe a lighter highlighting color up to my brow bone. It's very easy to wear for being this deep kind of fall shade and just so beautiful. So I'll do a close-up on this soon. Finally, the Nude Sticks. This is from Space NK. This line is exclusive to Space NK, and Nude Sticks has this really interesting packaging. It comes in a case with a sharpener and a mirror, and it's just delectable for a packaging fiend like me who really appreciates this kind of utility. And this is the Magnetic Eye Color in the shade Immortal. It's a deep bronzy brown, definitely the kind of color I gravitate towards constantly. And what I am most impressed about, aside from the beautiful pigmentation and satiny finish, is the fact that it does not budge once it dries down. It's reminiscent of some other non-budging cream eyeshadows that I have talked about before in videos. And wow, I mean, it's just so stalwart and beautiful. So I recommend Immortal if you're looking for an interesting kind of foray into this line, because I think it would complement a range of eye colors. Two other products for the eyes come from one of my favorite lines ever, and that's xoxo Beauty. I am talking about the Expressionist Brow Pencil first, and I wear this in totally apropos from medium brown to dark brown eyebrows with an ash undertone rather than a red undertone, which is what I have. I love the Expressionist because it looks so natural in the brow. I just use it to shape my brows, and I'm guessing that my glasses are obscuring whatever's going on up there. But I use this almost daily in October, so I felt like I should mention it even though I've had it for longer than that. It just brushes onto the brows with ease. I don't feel like this can be overdone, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful. And then I've also been using a lot of the xoxo Releve eyelash curler. It's won all sorts of awards lately, and I think sometimes I don't feel like I have the time in the morning to curl my eyelashes, but I remembered that I had it after reading about its most recent award, and I thought, gee, I need to just implement this into my routine. So I've been using it a lot for the month of October, and it truly deserves all of the accolades it receives. It's not only visually stunning, so aesthetically pleasing, but it's just so smooth. The pad just curls those eyelashes effortlessly without discomfort, and you get the most beautiful lifting effect. So I'm not of the belief that all eyelash curlers are created equally. I think some are just more magnificent than others, and this one rises to the top for me. And finally, before it's completely nighttime outside and my life wildly imbalanced, I'm going to talk about 4 lip colors. Gosh, I've been wearing more than 4 for this last month, but I truly tried to have a curator's eye when I selected these. One is the Galactic Cream Lipstick in Beautiful. I'm actually wearing it right now in combination with a Galactic Gloss. This was a line that was a new introduction for me this last month, and Beautiful is a soft, creamy coral peach pink. It's brighter than some of the nudes that I usually wear, and yet I think it's totally wearable. I found myself wearing it on a few key occasions and really liking its performance. It completely covers the lips from an opacity perspective. It's hydrating, and it just comes in a beautiful range of colors. Naked is also a favorite, but Beautiful's been the one I've been wearing a lot of, and I think it's a really unique coral, bright without being overbearing. While we're still in Galactic territory, I want to talk about the Galactic Star Gloss in Baby Doll, which is a lovely nude pink. Definitely more in the shade range that I wear on a normal basis. And I like this gloss because it's actually very pigmented, and I don't think a lot of glosses can make that claim. So you could wear it almost like a liquid lipstick, but I also like mixing it. In this case, I am wearing it over Beautiful, and I think it just makes for a subtly, slightly bright nude lip combination. So these two in tandem, just wonderful. And then I ordered a few Gucci lipsticks. The one that I've used a lot, and you can see that just from the silhouette here, is shade 020, which is Whisper, and this is the Audacious lipstick. So pigmented. Wow, one pass. This is a kind of a purpley mauve nude, and I guess it's all of those things, but it just does the most beautiful thing to the lips when you apply it. It's slightly matte, but not entirely, very creamy, and it stays in place all day. Some of my readers have asked me if I can handle the smell/taste. I really don't mind the taste, and the smell is, to me, really pleasing. It's called, I think, blue chocolate is how they describe it, but I find it just to be kind of a sweet vanilla chocolate vibe, totally pleasing to my nose, but you know, everyone's different. So I love this shade and recommend it. And finally, last but never ever least, is the Tom Ford matte lipstick. I have this in first time. I've already worn a lot of it. I have a backup. Bought one for my mom as well. Gosh, I love this color. It is a matte, peachy pink, everything one could hope for if you're a nude lip color lover and wanting to get something from the Tom Ford line. And truly, I feel like it's sold out so quickly. I hope that I'll be able to link to the purchase of this for you guys, because I keep kind of updating. I get readers telling me where they find it, and then I can disseminate that info. It's just so pigmented and lovely, and I never regret putting this on for the day. It's an amazing color. I wish they'd make it permanent. It's matte without being too drying, and the color is everything I wish Spanish Pink was. I find it's a little lighter than Spanish Pink, but it's certainly darker than Nude Vanille and Blush Nude. So I like it for those reasons. Just a spectacular shade. And so concludes my October favorites. I was able to talk about exactly 20 products, which for me was a momentous achievement. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear about what products, if any, you've tried and loved this month, and certainly please share your own October favorites in the comments box. Thank you for being so supportive, being wonderful subscribers, and thank you to my new subscribers, and I've had quite a few this last month, for coming to Beauty Professor and subscribing to my channel. As always, please do not forget to visit me at my beauty blog, Beauty Professor, which can be found at www.beautyprofessor.net. Take care.